Bob.
And Eric.
From GigaBoots.com, and welcome to GigaBoots Podcast number 69. We just realized this is 69. We don't have a good name for 69.
But digital cyber demon.
Oh, yes, a digital cyber demon. I hope I haven't used that by now.
I hope not, because it's great.
It is great.
Just a fact.
Hey, welcome.
Hey.
Real quick, before we start.
Too late.
I need to ask you an anime question. Because the amount of time I'm on your actual anime podcast is like Harvest Moon levels of like, oh, it's this time of the year, maybe, this decade. Like, I'm almost never on there.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched Kill la Kill.
Yes.
For funsies.
Okay.
It was on Adult Swim, and I was like, I don't feel like waiting for this all to pan out over a month or so on. Like, it's only one episode a week. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I'm just going to watch it online. Finished it. Did you also watch Scryed or Escryed? And did those protagonists seem eerily similar?
Ask him.
He asked me earlier.
Yeah.
I honestly, it's been so long since I saw Scryed, I really couldn't tell you.
Because they both, the main character is filled with anger and is like a rebel, and the dramatic foil is a person dressed in like blue and white and is fancy and haughty.
Yeah,
the
I
exact
remember
same
that
way.
much, yeah.
So I'm like, except
I mean,
slightly less rape in Scryed.
Are we sure?
From what I remember,
right.
that there was surprising amount of rape in Kill la Kill, and that there was one scene of rape, which is surprising.
Or near rape.
It was okay. So there was fingering happening.
Seamless transition. Recently, very recently, one day ago, I was at the 30th birthday party of the person who got her father, who was a teacher, to found the anime club at our high school.
Oh,
no.
lovely.
So as I'm leaving this party, somebody, like, eventually GigaBoots comes up, and I'm like, yeah, I run an anime review podcast. And they're like, oh, that's awesome. And one guy's like, GigaBoots, because he really enjoyed the name.
Yeah.
So in any case...
I mean, yeah, sure.
Right, why
If you are
not?
that, you'll enjoy it.
So...
If you're a weeaboot.
If you are a weeaboot, then you should watch Weeaboots.
There are many. You'll find your kind.
If you're a scrub, you should watch Scrubs. So in any case,
but Beyonce don't want no
I'm
scrubs.
starting to leave, right?
Okay.
And I just hear, like, do you two watch anime? And it's like, the party's now down to 4 people. Because everyone has a life now and needs to leave early. Me, I worked super early in the morning, and I'm like, oh no, now I look like one of those losers. But in any case, so I'm leaving, and then they're like, wait, do you two not watch anime? And they're like, no, not really. And then, like, the dude, not the main person who the birthday party was thrown for. She wasn't saying this. This other dude is just like, oh, we have some anime you could watch. And I'm like, man, that sounds questionable. How many tentacles you want? 1 tentacle? 20 tentacles?
How young is too young for you?
Do you need just tentacles or crosses between dicks and tentacles?
Do you need dick tentacles? Do you need...
Here, I'm just gonna give you this app I made.
How big do you need the nipples? Like,
I need it to protrude by about half a foot.
Gotcha. Great.
Very specific needs these people seem to have.
Yes. They watch anime. They have discerning taste.
Oh, that's what it is.
Discerning, not awful.
Not fucking weirdos. They have discerning, they're fucking weirdos. But in any case, so that was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, I enjoyed that anime. I don't really watch anime all that often, so...
No.
I know, it's very surprising.
But yeah, that lack of self-seriousness kind of really helps that. Did we really only have 3 news stories, or
I
did
feel like there
it
were
just
more that we
stop
just
in the
didn't...
middle?
That you guys were like, we're gonna set up camera now, and we kind of forgot.
I
there was,
honestly
like,
can't. The
one
only other
more I
thing
could think of.
yeah, there was one more that you came up with, and I forgot to write that in.
I remember it, so it's fine.
Okay.
You remember it, so
I
it's
remember
fine.
all.
We'll make that the first news story, so that way we can remember to talk about
Okay.
it.
All right.
You gonna ask if we've been playing stuff?
No, shh. Let it sit.
What animes have you been watching?
Whoop! Surprise, bitches! It's Weeaboots!
Kill. Yeah, we named it. Surprise, it's Weeaboots. But what are those animes we're watching for this next week of Weeaboots?
For next week?
Yeah.
Oof.
Do you
We are
remember?
watching that orchestra one that's K-On! Esque. And Punchline. That's it.
Guess how many episodes I watched?
0.
I have 2 days. Because we're doing the film shoot Wednesday morning, I'm thinking about either pushing back or canceling this week's episode.
Yeah, okay.
Because the uploads are a little bit behind anyways.
We can
Or
always
it's
do the
just be
same
me,
shows.
Have no
later.
life, and cannonball 26 episodes of Ichijo. Over a period of 1 to 2 days.
I would love to do that. Now, if I could kill the demons that exist and get free time back from their fucking grasp.
The time demons. I always imagine like time imps, like
Yeah. Yeah?
skimpering away.
I always
flying
imagine
away.
extra dimensional, like, tentacle monsters. That sort of thing. Like, you know...
Anime Club?
No.
Anime
you ever
Club.
read Watchmen?
The comic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Okay, so you know the
ish.
thing at the end of it.
Yeah.
That was not in the movie so much.
Yeah.
So...
Because they're like I don't think the audiences can handle weird squid monster.
And I'm just like, where the fuck is the weird squid monster?
I need it. This story is lacking squid monster.
I mean, the story
It
was
is.
lacking at very least some really well-developed reason that wasn't just that I talked Dr. Manhattan into scaring the shit out of you people. Because I did a thing and pretended it was him. And he could easily just be like, nah, ain't me. This guy's an asshole. But then he was like, fuck this place.
You know what that means? That is me.
That is me. I do love frying people
Yeah.
with my nuclear powers that transcend time and space.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
with my nuclear... That's a pretty apt, like, synopsis of him.
Nuclear powers of time and space.
That transcend time and space, yeah. What games have you guys been playing?
I tried playing some games.
Such as?
I played Ether 1, which is a free downloadable on
Ghost.
on the PS
Just gonna-
Plus. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I booted it up. And I'm like, this seems interesting. I read about it. You like delve into the memories of people with Alzheimer's and try and like reconnect their memories, like Inception style and something like that. And like that sounds neat. You're like Misty. She like wander around, solve puzzles in their brain. You help people. Woo! There's probably like a dark undercurrent. This sounds neat. There's no option to invert y-axis controls, so freaks like me can't play this game.
And that's the way it was meant to be played, by normies.
I tried. I was like, I was like, no, can't. There's no, I can't. How do you do this by? And a day later, I was like, you know, I'm gonna try this. I kind of want to play this game. I'm gonna work through it. I'm gonna power through it. 5 minutes in, I'm like, I can't. But no, help! And I quit.
Has it occurred to you to just try really hard to work your way through it?
For
and
5
just-
whole minutes. I tried.
No,
it was
you
awful.
need to try harder
It was
than that.
excruciating.
You need to try harder than that.
I started to bleed.
You could join the rest of us in Normie Town if
No.
you just power through this. You waited 28 years too late to get used to this.
It hurt me so much. So that happened.
Okay.
And then the other, not quite as advertised, but it was free. It was Air Mech Arena, which is like
I thought you said Ermac
Ermac
instead of
Arena.
Airmac. Airmech?
Air Mech.
Oh,
Air
okay.
Mech
Yeah.
Arena.
Okay. Yeah, I was
It
thinking
is-
the guy from Mortal Kombat.
Right.
It's basically how MOBAs split off from the strategy games and did their own thing. This is basically a MOBA, but slightly to the left of it, and it's more like capturing bases, building units, but still has that MOBA. You control like a ship, a character that you level up as you kill ships. So
It's Warcraft 3.
sort of, yeah. Except you're a cool ass transforming robot. Then you can be a jet and a robot.
I think Illidan was a jet and a robot.
Yeah.
I think that's canon. You're right.
Sorry. Oops. So,
I mean, I played all the way to the tutorial, and there's a lot of like 2-3 star the tutorials. You have to do stuff they don't tell you to do. Like in the mission, you had to like, build units, pick them up, and place them in these spots because you can pick up units from any base that you've captured and place them anywhere.
all right.
It didn't tell you. I was like picking up one at a time, like go to the base, pick it up, drop it off. Base, pick up, drop off. It didn't tell you, and I kept getting 2 stars. Like, how can I do this any faster? And I was like, what if I fidget around? If you hold the X button over a base, it picks up as many built units as you can.
Oh, okay.
Like 4 soldiers or 2
Yeah.
tanks or however many jeeps
like
and
the
stuff.
all pickup stuff
And I
from
was like,
Diablo.
there. Yeah, I was like, oh, there. I can pick up all of them and just drop them off. And I 3-starred. Like, they didn't tell me that. So, and then maybe I'm just bad at these games, but I didn't quite enjoy myself. I played like one dummy match with some bots, and it went really slow, and I didn't know what I was doing, and I guess maybe if I wasn't playing with people, or I just don't like that genre very much, to be honest. Even when it's at the apex of things that I like, which is transforming robots with lasers, still not so much. It was okay. I mean, it's free. You can like.
Were there different robot jets to
Oh
select
yeah,
from?
I mean you can choose between 3 at the start of like balanced, heavy, and light. They come with different guns, and you can get like instead of airplanes, you get like choppers that transform into laser cannons instead of just like machine guns. As you play, you unlock like money to buy new characters basically, and each of them has their own thing. It's published by Ubisoft.
Yeah.
So there's some Uplay stuff you can connect to if you want, but it didn't seem like that was really required.
Maybe spend like $30. Why not?
But yeah, there was some like buy this with money, but I was getting even just in the tutorial, it was giving me like in-game currency for like and quests to do in the tutorials, and it was rewarding me even from minute 1. So that was neat.
Really important question in order to understand where you're coming from. Have you played Armored Core Formula Front?
No,
Okay.
I have unfortunately not played any Armored Core.
Well,
Past 3.
Well, here's the weird part. You played 3 on the PSP.
Yeah.
So Formula Front was on the PSP, and it was them being like, hey, we're going to deal with this whole mech thing by having an AI take control of it, because fuck using a PSP to play this game.
Actually, yeah, I went back to play it. Fuck using a PSP to play Armored Core.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was always just like, what?
Why?
You're like, nah, it controls fine. And I'm just like, mathematically, I can disprove this. I just need to provide the proof.
How do I look up? Well, oh no.
You hold L, hit. Oh no, he got me. I am full of shit.
No! Just lifts open shirt. So full of shit.
Ah! Have you been playing anything else?
I want to say no.
Okay, so overall, you just
There's
could
not a
not
lot-
enjoy it.
I just-
It's not really for you.
It's not for me. I mean, it seemed interesting enough, and maybe I'll go back to it because again, it's free, and maybe try playing a match against some person. But I wanted it to be more towards the action bit because it's like basically a twin stick shooter where you can just zip around the map. But I don't like multitasking, which is probably why I don't like the multitasking in the way that RTSs want me to. I keep forgetting. As I was playing, it's like, you're at max money. You should probably buy units. I was like, oh, I should probably buy units. Whoops. Buy units. They don't just pop out. I have to zip around and order them to go. So I was like, I just want you to produce units and send them along their way.
I
That's how
feel like
MOBAs
using
normally deal with it.
I feel like
Which is
using
why-
a controller on that sort of thing would be really
I believe it
helpful.
was first launched on the PC. I remember seeing this on
That
like
would
Steam
make a lot more
Marketplace.
sense. Yeah.
So again, it leans a little bit more towards the RTS. So if you like MOBAs but also like RTSs, it's kind of a light mix of the two. Mm-hmm. But overall, it's kind of meh. Your head is entirely too large.
My head is enormous.
People often confuse.
But now I look like a director douchebag, don't I?
Yes.
There
Sure
you
do.
go.
People
Look.
often confuse your head with Kansas.
I said rack focus, not focus on a rack.
But keep doing that.
Jokes.
Jokes.
Has anyone told the director that hat is way too small for his head? Fucking no.
He passed out. He lost blood circulation.
I actually did start getting a headache there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Try-
that one's actually way tighter than that one, and that one's
Yeah.
going to be too
That
small
one
for you
seems
too.
reasonable-ish.
Hello, governor!
Oh.
Some dude came in that looked like one of Peter Serafinowicz' fake characters from his show, and I was just like,
When you are best described as you're a fake character someone made
that
up.
somebody made up for a sketch show. That's troubling. I don't like it. That doesn't match my... Nope.
I've never been a very big hat person.
I like beanies. I don't...
You also like headphones
Yeah.
a lot. Especially when you paid good money for them. Like, look at my status symbols.
There we go. I'm going to turn the volume down on you. Bring it to a casual level.
But I mean, stuff's coming out next week that I'm actually interested in. Like 3 games.
Like what?
Like that Pixel Junk game. The
Nom Nom
Soup,
Galaxy.
Nom Nom Galaxy. The soup.
Sorry. Yeah, it was
Soup Town?
It was named Pixel Junk Inc. at first, so keeping track of what the name is now is beyond me.
Then there's that Torn game that looked interesting. It was
Yeah,
like
I watched the trailer. I was like, that
Ico
looks-
Light, discount Ico basically looked like. And then there was that game like Puppy something. I forget their developer's name. It's like it's a puppy. Their logo was a puppy eating a controller. So, but they made like Titan Attacks and various other things like in that like retro-ish style. You know, and this one they're basically doing Robotron. So that seems neat. So depending on how much that costs, I would probably pick that up too.
Cool.
So yeah, so I'll have things to talk about next week. But this week, not so much. And also, I'm a dirty liar because I haven't touched Transistor at all yet, and I haven't touched Bastion yet either.
And just walk up to you and slap you.
Yeah, okay.
It's not happening now. Well, it may not happen today, but it will happen.
Sometime. On your deathbed.
Watch, we're gonna be filming a fucking SPF sketch, and you're like, well, I'm just glad we're doing SPF again, and I'll be like, okay, just read the line, and you go to read the line, and I'll completely break the whole sketch on my fucking knee to just. I uploaded a video of me actually slapping Eric across the face to the internet,
And me
this sketch was just a rapping to sneak it into
Going
your
down,
video feed.
crying on the ground. You're like, why'd you do that? Well, let's do the scene. No, that's it. That's a wrap. Cut, print, let's go.
This was all just deleted that. We're done. Good job, everybody. High five. Here's a water bottle.
It's horrible.
I'm surprised I haven't seen an internet video that is that.
We are not good imagination friends.
What? Why not?
You just, imagination slapped me as hard as he could, made me cry, and said, right, we're putting it on the internet.
Yeah, that's hilarious. That's imagination hilarious.
That's not good friendship. It's not good imagination friendship.
There are many ways to be funny and not have good friendship.
Yeah, I know. I'm very aware of it.
One of which, play Bust-A-Move with your girlfriend.
That's Danger Zone.
Yes. Yes. Ugh. It was fine when I was losing. Bob, what are you
I've
playing?
been looking for Fantasy Zone. This is Danger Zone. Sorry.
Sorry. You need to get off the highway.
But yeah, I actually got to play that Splatoon global test fire.
played-
And I did too!
You played interesting things. How dare you?
Whoa!
Could you invert the y-axis?
Yeah.
Better game than either one.
Sorry, I just love the shallow depth of field. In any case,
Of
course I do.
it's not even zoomed in. Zoomed in, it's even better. Here, we'll just zoom in on Bob while he tells you about Splatoon.
It's a Splatoon.
Bob.
It's pretty cool.
Bob.
Oh, no.
Tell me about Splatoon.
Too close.
Yeah, Splatoon was pretty good. So yeah, in Splatoon, you play as an ink boy or ink girl. And in the demo, you didn't
So
get
not
to set
an
up your
ink man or an ink
customization.
woman?
Yeah, you got the...
And no ink question mark.
They're inklings.
They're cis inks.
But, yeah, actually, it let you choose, like, skin color.
Sorry. The amount of sheer pain and disgust on his face of trying to hold back the vomit bile building in his very soul.
Something about a cis ink sounds like it should be related to a sphinx.
Or someone was trying to say sink.
You're right. We need to sync the video with the audio. But yeah, so this demo, you get to select one of 4 weapons, and it just jumps into matching.
Right. It has a little tutorial of
What
when
are
it
the
first booted
weapons? So
up.
there's like regular shooter, like paint roller, and I don't know.
You got regular shooter, paint roller, a submachine gun sword, paint gun,
Okay.
and a
Sniper rifle.
thing.
Okay.
But it's not like... It's like this charge up thing. So you like hold it for a moment, and then it sprays ink in one long
That's pretty
stretch.
cool. Does it go through like through people, or is it?
It'll kill, or it'll take one guy down. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's a
So
one-hit
everything
kill
else,
from a
everything
distance.
else is like hit, and then you're dead. But this is
Right.
like, kablam! Okay.
Yeah,
Except the paint roller, which is also kablam!
but it's also like at point blank.
Right,
Yeah.
you run him over.
Yeah,
and
you're
it-
like right here.
One of the most fun things in
Fair.
that game for me is having a person running a paint roller around and just follow them. Because eventually they'll run out of ink. And then they'll step on my ink and they'll stop moving because you can't move at normal speeds on the enemy ink.
Yeah.
So then I just kill them. And all of that work they just did was undone by me following 2 feet behind them.
Apparently, there's a way to quick turn in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like back in or in Y, and it gives a quick turn.
So do I turn around and then everyone's gone and I'm like, where'd everybody go? Bingo.
I'm sure they programmed that. All
Important
the Inklings
feature.
get really, really deep voices. Can speak English.
What?
And they're all Leon.
Yes.
It was only multiplayer, not single player.
Except for the little tutorial stage.
Oh,
but,
yeah, okay.
But yeah, basically just multiplayer.
Did you get to experience the orbital paint laser?
No, that was not in it.
Damn it.
They let us mess with what was it called? Something whale?
There's a whale?
Yeah, the whale ability, it was like Screeching Whale or whatever. Whale as in W-A-I-L.
Yeah.
It's
Banshee
this.
whale.
It's like a hypersonic speaker. So you hold it up and you aim it, and it gives you like this circle, the cylinder going out to tell you where it's going to hit, and it'll just obliterate everyone in that entire cylinder.
Okay.
So it's pretty good when you look off into the distance, see the entrance of the enemy base and a huge conflict going on, and you go click, and half their team's dead.
Isn't that cute? Click.
And the way you use those sorts of abilities is you ink things up or kill other people with the ink stuff, and it'll fill a meter slowly, and then you can use your abilities.
But it's not like, is it cross like deaths, or is it like kill streak?
It does add up over deaths,
lost.
but if you fill it and die, you lose like half your bar.
Okay, so you still keep some.
Yeah,
Yes.
you don't lose all of it. It's not
Okay.
not full kill streak.
Okay.
Right.
Because I was like, that was like kill streaks. When I was playing in like the New Year's Eve party one year, I was like, kill streaks. Good thing I never used these. Yay.
I'll set them as like 1 kill garbage,
Yeah.
just so I could get anything.
And I could almost never get that. Like the supply crate was like 2 kills. Try. I was like, please let me kill 2
Right,
people.
and that's probably with the perk too, where it was originally like 3 kills for a supply crate, and you're like, ha, I brought it down by 1. I'm now infinitely more capable of doing that, and still relatively incapable.
Yes, that happened.
I mean, that's how that goes. Bob, do you think this year's Call of Duty will be good enough for us to do it at
No, I really don't.
years? Okay,
I
that's
mean,
Call of Duty 3?
and I was even kind of okay with 2, but 3 really, like,
yeah.
all the stuff they've talked about with it kind of worries me.
That it just seems like it's going to be a jank version of Advanced.
No, like they're just adding weird mechanics for the sake of adding weird mechanics. Like
So
even more
it's
so than
Tony
Advance.
Hawking.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's like, oh, you choose a special soldier and they have this unique ability that does this, and it's like, okay. All right.
Okay. So, I mean, did you have fun with Splatoon?
Wait,
I did.
Wait, like classes?
Yeah, like
Basically.
classes, but more limited, it sounded like. I don't know. It was like halfway to a class, but there were going to be a ton of them. Like, they announced 9, and they said that's not all of them.
Fuck.
Right?
Splatoon was fun.
Yeah, Splatoon was
Great.
I turned off it starts with motion control stuff on, and that's
What do
weird.
they do?
Like
It controls the y-axis
With the gamepad.
entirely.
So you
So,
just-
like, tilting it up and down will help you aim up and down. Which he hates that, but that joystick's so fucking awful, I actually liked it.
Yeah.
That's how bad that joystick is. Like, we cranked the sensitivity all the way down to deal with those joysticks.
Wow.
yeah. Luckily,
It's
the
bad.
best weapon with the paint roller, so we didn't need to worry too much about that.
Aiming, what's that?
Right. And then it becomes like what I like about Splatoon is that it isn't sort of the skill-based shooter that Call of Duty is, and more taps into that Battlefield sort of vibe where it's like you can be smart and get some real work done.
Yeah.
That'll be more beneficial to your team than running out and trying to kill people.
I
Right.
do like that killing people is basically a secondary objective. Like, it helps complete your first objective,
Right.
which is painting everything.
Yeah.
I think there is like a deathmatch mode,
There-
but for the
the-
most
apparently,
part, like, the main mode.
like-
What modes were available?
The only mode that was available was the Turf War, which is the one we were to talk about, where you have to ink everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other mode sounds like it's going to launch a few weeks later and be like a ranked battle, I think is what they call it.
Right,
It's
yeah.
literally
when
like
enough
about
people rank up to like level 10 or something, they were going to unlock ranked battles
something
and stuff like that. Which
Yeah,
is more
but-
like hardcore, captured, like standard FPS stuff, from what I heard.
Right, and that sounds nifty. And also, I'm really excited about the single player.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that.
Like they've shown off different things, and it looks like there's going to be specific mechanics just for the single player, like little ink things you can
like
run through.
Octo
and,
robots
and
stuff.
Octo robots are the enemies, and there's going to be bosses, and apparently you can approach the levels in different orders. I don't know.
That's cool.
It sounded neat.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, what if Ratchet and Clank had like fun controls and stuff?
And it just seemed like a really cool little concept. The whole paint thing and running slower, using it to climb up walls, just painting the
Yeah,
surfaces.
they're just
like, and you could hide in the ink and then go surprise, bitch, and then shoot someone. Like that's really cool.
It's
Yeah.
always great to like find someone who's hiding by rolling over them on accident.
Oh.
Yeah, because you
Whoops.
can see them, but it's just very subtle.
Like a
It's
thing.
like that much height over the normal paint. Yeah, that's always great.
Also, I noticed that they have teeth a lot like the beak of a regular squid. So they have the two fangs and then one big fang in the middle. I'm like, man, that middle fang is real creepy.
It's just like yeah. That's well then.
I liked it.
Okay.
I enjoyed it as well.
I'm glad
I
that a
feel
new
like
IP from Nintendo is like, oh, this is not.
this is
garbage.
actually good.
This is actually
Thank you,
good.
God.
Yay.
I feel like that game is really good. The worst part of it is using that controller.
Yeah.
Even
Was there
if it was on Nintendo and it was just on
Were
like
there options
a
for
better-
other controller support?
Not in the demo.
Yeah.
and
It was just
from
like
what they're
Wii-Pad?
saying in the final game. It's more of a player 2 can use the Pro controller sort of thing, but we won't know until it comes out later this month. When was that?
The 29th. So basically like the last day of the month.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Happy birthday.
My birthday's the 31st. Yours is 27th.
22nd.
22nd. Why do I always think it's the 27th?
I don't know.
That's easy. 4 days. 9. What is that? That's more than a week. Be reasonable. Be reasonable. But yeah. So happy late birthday. I guess that would be to you. But yeah, it's really unfortunate. So I need to see if they do support the Wii Pro controller for Player One. If there's some sort of way to get a PS4 controller to fucking work. Because oh my god, I'm desperate.
Right.
Please.
I guess the other thing I've been playing is a lot of Castlevania Order of Ecclesia.
Yeah? Oh, yeah. So
I'm like halfway through Dracula's Castle.
Because of the Sword or Whip thing, which halfway through Dracula's Castle, for those who don't know, in Order of Ecclesia is 90% of the game
Yeah.
done. Because Dracula's Castle is the last like 15%.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
And it's, yeah.
But I remember.
I don't know, I
remember
felt it was
playing
really
and
neat.
stopping
Yeah.
there because I either had to give it back to someone or this ball's hard. Holy shit!
Oh, yeah. The difficulty cranks.
Yeah,
I was
because that's
already
the
having
real
trouble
ending.
with that game.
And it's really cool that I feel that the difficulty peaks there, because that elevates like Dracula's Castle as it exists in, Romania or whatever.
Transylvania, maybe.
Castlevania City.
64.
Man, that'd be great. Just name a game that. Castlevania City 64. It's basically Bubsy 3D all over again.
Like,
But it has some city street
It's
control.
Sim City,
Yep.
but instead of Mr. Right, it's Dracula.
Yeah, and you still have like the Simcopter thing from
You're trying to build the best Castlevania, but instead of natural disasters, it's Belmonts coming in. Mm-hmm. Shit, why isn't this game being made?
because it's too meta. Also copyright infringement.
Also, I think it's just Dungeon Keeper.
Fair enough.
I know that what was it called? There was some game I played on the Wii that was like dark.
Or
Deep-
the, like Dark King or something. It was like Final Fantasy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Final Fantasy Dark Queen or
I
something.
thought it was
don't-
Dark King something, or like, yeah, you like build up
Yeah, it was kind of
minions
fun.
and stuff, yeah.
So they have a thing in Splatoon where when it is doing the online lobby stuff and loading,
Oh yeah.
there's a mini game that's sort of NES style, but
You don't even have to say anything. A mini game during load
on the
screen.
gamepad. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so it's like an NES game that is sort of iOS-ish, where all you're doing is just jumping up platforms.
Huh.
That's all you're doing, and you have to hold, like, you do a charge jump, so you hold it longer, you'll jump higher, that sort of thing, and you have a spike floor coming up after you.
That's cool.
And the best part is that your progress carries over in between the various load times.
Huh.
Yeah, so you get new high scores by just building it up over time.
That's cool.
Now, the best part about this is we can thank Namco losing the patent on load screen mini games.
Namco
They've had that since '96.
had a
patent. Yep.
patent?
Yep.
Yep. Remember in Ridge Racer when you could play Galaga on the load screen?
No, I never played Ridge Racer.
That was the thing.
Okay.
And they patented it, and that's why you haven't seen more of that.
Right?
Yep.
That could have been helping all of gaming, but
All
no.
of gaming!
For the last 2 decades.
Yep.
That's like Elon Musk going, look at my cool electric car. You can have it.
Right, it was almost like if Elon Musk started patenting things that like wouldn't even be covered under patents, because I feel like that one's really
I made
fucking...
a jetpack.
This game is still a game during load times is basically how they like, and that's fucking insane. Ugh.
Just a little. Just a...
The fact that people can get away with patenting shit like that's fucking bonkers.
But apparently, like, you get more of those. I think you can get them in game normally, and then some of them are locked exclusively to the amiibos, which is weird.
That's something.
So
Fucking, did you see the final bossman
No.
for amiibos? Fucking incredible.
I
was
guess
pretty
I need to
great.
see
Like, it was top notch, exactly what I like out of those sort of things.
I guess
And I won't spoil it for anyone.
Okay.
Speaking of which, if you don't know, Final Bossman is a show on Game Trailers. You can watch it on YouTube. Just Bosman, and I like him.
Yeah, he's fun.
when you watch it on YouTube, it's super weird and 60 frames per second.
Yeah, they're using like newsroom cameras, so like from like years ago. So he's 720p and 60 frames per second in this weirdly smooth manner. We were talking about how that looks weirdly smooth because we used to always do 24 because that's... Look, this sounds really sad, but we couldn't afford the 5 extra frames in a second.
Those frames are real expensive.
They are! Those SD cards are huge, but not huge enough. They need those protein shakes.
They need to be swole.
Ooh.
So how's the Castlevania, Bob?
Yeah, let's talk about Ecclesia. Music.
Music is great.
Top
Oh
notch.
my god, the Albus fight music is still some of my favorite.
It is
That
fucking stunningly incredible.
and like Dracula's castle's got great themes too.
Uh-huh.
I feel like that's so weird. 'Cause it's like the rest of the game is pretty good, but Jesus, when you do the Albus fight and then you go right to Dracula's castle,
Uh-huh.
it's like whoa.
Rewarding you for being awesome! Like, that's what I like about that, with the difficulty spike and all this cool stuff that happens, like, at the Dracula's castle part. Like, that makes you feel good.
And then
Because
you-
most true ending paths are just like, then you go hug the walls. Just rub yourself all over the castle.
Right, I was actually able to find like I didn't look at any guides for this. I was like, I want to know what it's like to just not even have that and to find these villages on my own. I had to beat Albus like twice before I did it just to get like hints.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, that is exactly what happened back when it came out.
Right.
It was just like, that wasn't all of them even still. Damn it, where's the other one?
What I liked about it, because I'm me, was the story was interesting. Because you sort of get into, like, the weird politics of, like, I want to kill Dracula, but we want to kill Dracula. Like, the family is like, we're going to develop this super cool super weapon, and fuck the Belmonts.
See,
Fuck them.
that's great, but that's really like the background noise of that. Like, that is the universe they built
Yeah.
and set it in. Meanwhile, the actual plot of the game is, I don't remember anything, but I trust Evil Evilton and not you, guy who gives me things.
It seems like a swell dude. I guess
He's dressed like a gentleman.
Dracula, who's weirdly sexually attracted to me.
You're like, Albus, I don't trust you. And he's like, but I called you back because he's such a gentleman. He's like, I paid for dinner and I tipped well too.
I'm a nice guy. Fedora.
Right? Whoop! It was there the whole time.
He uses his secret clan line soul arts. Fedora tech.
Yes. The Armus Fedorist. He just goes, oh!
Dracula's like, no!
No! The walls are getting covered in wall scrolls of anime that looks unacceptable to hang in a household. No! You're ruining everything!
How old is she? No!
one thing that's super weird about the story. Oh my god, it was right on the tip of my tongue. I kind of lost
And
it.
then
in
Armus
insanity.
Fedoris?
Yes. Oh man.
But yeah, no, Order of Ecclesia, the animations are beautiful. Like that game's art is still fucking outstanding by today's standard.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
for the DS.
Especially going on the DS Castlevanias up until then was Dawn of Sorrow and then Portrait of Ruin, which are like weird after school anime kind of like
Right.
And this goes to like friggin' painterly
Yeah.
ass detailed
Yeah,
faces.
it goes
like, I'm
back-
an adult. Like
It goes back to the normal, like,
Right.
You know,
It's
Ayame Kojima thing before Dawn of Sorrow, where they're like, we're sorry we tried to make a schlock anime, here's the painterly style we did before.
Yeah, it's so super weird they didn't get her back for that. Like
For that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's not her. It's just like another
artist.
Right. It's good art, but it's not Ayame Kojima.
Well,
good.
yeah, like the main character's a female, so we couldn't have her drawing it like a handsome man. Meanwhile,
Dan,
we could have her drawing men as handsome women.
Those were clearly women.
I'm playing some of the songs off of Harmony of Dissonance for Tosh because one of my wake up alarms is an OC remix of a Harmony of Dissonance song, and it's really fucking good. But she's like, "What is that song from?" And I'm like, "Oh," and I play the original, and the YouTube art is just fucking Juice Day sitting there like, and he's like got this fucking. I'm trying to, okay, there we go. And he's got the whip like taut like that, and coiled over like his arm basically, and he's wearing this fancy as fuck red coat with his flowing goddamn white hair with that beautiful blue background. I'm like, man, what a handsome man. What a beautiful gentleman.
Gun to my head? Sure.
Fucking yeah. So in another thing, in the States, our Game Boy Advance boxes are square.
Yeah.
In Japan, they are horizontally rectangular. So you got the full picture in Japan of Juice Day being like
Blam.
beautiful and holding that thing.
What the Game Boy box here is just lying across his chest? Did you even see?
You might get his fists, but not a whole lot of back here.
Yeah, I think that Aria Sorrow actually got hurt a lot.
Aria Sorrow got censored actually because the cover art is of a lot of shit. Like let's just say that because holy crap, there's a lot of things in it.
Yeah.
But one of the parts is he's doing like this with his hand, and he's like, let me do that.
He's doing this.
He's doing the
with
spider.
His hand.
No,
you can see this gesture.
Yeah, right down here. He's cut here, Bob. Let me. But in any case, he's doing that, and he's piercing into his hand, and it's spraying blood.
Huh?
Like, yeah.
So instead, it was flowers.
And instead, it was cut right above there.
Oh, okay.
See, in Japan, our podcast is actually 16 by 9.
Gotcha.
But here in the States, it's like, 2.4 by 1.
So really, they aren't getting the two other silent people to our left and right.
Correct.
Who just stare at us.
They're not noticing that we aren't wearing pants in the States.
I am actually not wearing pants.
Bob, I feel like we didn't talk about Order of Ecclesia enough.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so...
Of course, there's never enough.
No.
But yeah.
I really like that game.
Yeah, it's pretty darn good.
It's really darn good.
It's hard.
Vehicle.
It more veers towards Castlevania than Metroidvania, like in the difficulty. I was like, help, please help.
Also, a bit in the structure. Like, you don't revisit areas a ton.
Yeah,
right.
Like,
a lot of levels.
I think it's about 3 or 4 that you actually have to revisit for important branches. Maybe just 2.
I mean, there's always, like, it seems like almost every level has a villager hidden somewhere.
Right.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I'm talking, like, important branches of, like, you got a new ability.
Yeah.
You can now go to a wholly different
Yeah, that was maybe, like, 3.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, I have a new ability. Now maybe I can dent that boss. Oh, God.
Yeah. Hammers. Good. Fuck that crab.
Yeah, I like how much the different weapons will... The weaknesses are actually super important. Like you have 3 different abilities sets to switch between. You really need them. But at the same time, it's like it feels like that whole switching between the 2 buttons thing could have been like 1 button just with accurate timing or something. That would let you have a lot more versatility because I felt
Are you talking like a combo system where you start with 1 weapon and by the timing of the input you switch weapons? What are you trying to say?
I'm saying with the because honestly, like through this entire game, I found no reason to not have double the same glyph equipped for each set
so
because because if you do anything else, it's like, well, that other weapon isn't strong against this enemy. Thus, this is a bad combination. And the
glyph per
dumb.
hand thing's really just there for the super moves.
Oh yeah.
Because it combines them.
Right, but then most of them super moves only come from having 2 of the same thing.
I don't know. There are important
rarely.
combinations like lightning and hammer.
Yeah,
that kills the shit out of crabs. It turns out
there's like that, and then light and sword, and that makes this laser sword.
I mean,
but
there are combinations. I feel like if you're not aware of them, you should have tried more mixes. But But yeah, I mean, you're totally right. It still would have been better if they just maybe you have an attribute orb and you just have one attack weapon and it just goes.
Because because it just screws up your ability to convert, actually properly use the weapon if you have to have, like a magic spell in this hand and a sword in this one.
Right, because then you're going stab, zap, stab, zap, stab, zap.
Right, and you just can't actually...
Right, and so that's why you, like, have those multiple sets, so that way in the middle of a boss, you can switch from your all hammer mode to your lightning hammer super, and then switch back to your all hammer mode. I liked that it was, like, a literally, viscerally engaging combat system of, like, oh, you want to keep attacking super fast, then you gotta keep like managing your button inputs really fast.
And
it was
also
a very
too, because
it was a timing thing. Yeah, your MP meter, like everything drains it. So if you can't just piss lightning.
Right.
You can, but for like this much time.
Well, yeah. That's kind of like you go to the bathroom and you're like, oh man, I really gotta pee. Oh no, this is weird. It would be that level of peeing. It would be like, oh, I need to see a doctor. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was good. I thought that value was there in that part of it, of that aspect of just like making sure you got the timing of the exact frame you could switch to the other hand and just like going as fast as possible.
I'm saying that same sort of timing feel could be accomplished with a single button.
Yeah, but then that's literally, I mean, that's a little bit easier to manage one button with the timing thing. And I mean, you're right, but that's just not what it's doing. And what would that extra button accomplish in this game?
That would allow you to have
a button that does the super?
No, not a button that does the super. You could have one was your sword and one's your hammer, and then you have double the amount of things you can have, that doubles the versatility. Because then you could do like, really rapid hammers and really rapid swords, and then switch to a totally magic build that can do really rapid fireballs and really rapid lightning.
So wait, you're saying just like Y would be set to hammers, X would be set to daggers?
Right.
I mean...
And then it made things like sub-weapons essentially useless, because you get the axe glyph and the knife glyph, and it's like, if I have this, I can't even use the regular attacks.
Right.
Unless I switch to just fully all knife node.
Right, so you can either attack slower or you could just be all axes, which for that forest stretch that's from hell, you should be all axes. That thing's fucking, like, because there's so many, like, Metroids in it and all those other things, and axes were really high damage value at that point, and a lot of those enemies were weak against that type of damage. So yeah, I liked that realizing the damage differential between axe and everything else made me play in a way that was like no one would ever think to themselves, I'm going to go through this giant stretch of level using nothing but axes.
Right, that is a really weird thing to think.
Absolutely never come across that thought unless you're a fucking maniac.
Which, if you're only wielding axes, you probably are.
Probably. I mean, most people who only wield axes...
You get to choose your weapon. At the beginning, we have some sort of saw cleaver, a whip cannon, axe.
And you throw them.
Real quick. Axe!
You can't just keep throwing your axe, man.
Are you saying it like that because you really want me to take it or you don't want me to take it? I'm confused.
So, all that I'm getting from all this talk is that you're spending a lot of time playing Order of Ecclesia. How about Mega Man ZX Advent? Are you playing that?
No!
Can I borrow it?
Okay.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to hear. Thank you.
Oh yeah, I saw the really dumb thing about the plot of
all of it.
Well, yes, a lot of it. But why is this whole society is built around developing these glyphs? Shinoa is the only person they found in history that can use these glyphs.
Well, no dude is sexy enough to have a back tattoo that he could do this with.
Alucardus. Juice days.
So most dudes in the Castlevania universe. Totally.
Yes. But not Dracula. He doesn't have long flowing hair.
Sometimes he does.
Sometimes he does. Sometimes a long flowing beard.
I feel like in Symphony even he's got the hair going.
And one game he's going to show up bald, like, where's your long flowing hair? You know. You know.
No.
This isn't a loincloth.
Am I in hell?
Demon dimension. Yeah.
Man. You know what's the best part? Curse of Darkness. Count Saint Germain. Like that was that plot point was just like, man, I love the Castlevania universe. That Count Saint Germain's like, yeah, no, I'm real in here, and I'm just watching you fight Dracula because that's neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot that some of the really weird lore stuff that happened, like in Judgment things.
Yeah.
Of Galimov being the main antagonist.
Yes, that was
That's
what they had to do
hilarious.
because they wanted Dracula as a playable character. That game's fucking stupid, and I do not acknowledge it as a part of the canon. He can do whatever
the
he
Judgment
wants.
fighting
but-
game?
Yes.
Yeah, no.
It's just
That's
it's so,
no canon.
so insane. And it felt
is.
like it never got a real end. Even like you always hear about the time death.
Yeah,
And
I
you never
thought-
fought him.
You sure?
I couldn't find a way.
I thought there was like that ultimate ending where you have to fight the Time Reaper, and it's just like attached to the ground, so it's kind of lame.
I never
We
got
have
it.
to kill the Angels of Destruction before we find the portal.
See, that's what the new Igavania should start off as.
Right.
Speaking of which, news! Bob won't let us go to the news. Bob, ruin the transition.
I also played Senator and Kagura. Bon
Great.
appetit. That game is kind of real bad.
What
Yeah.
type of game is it, Bob?
It is a rhythm game that is about cooking.
It's a rhythm cooking game with weird girl anime boobs.
Yes.
Okay.
What's
There,
what
it
do
is
you
no longer peaking. I've stopped it with my hands.
Now it's peeking.
Yeah, now it's peaking.
But yeah, it's like a really tough rhythm game, and then there's cooking in the background you really can't see because you're trying to play this really hard rhythm game that's on.
That's like a lot of Japanese rhythm games.
And it's like not even good music. Like the music in regular Senator and Kagura is way better than the music it plays in this. And I'm like,
Oh no.
it literally is like the garbage game that you would assume Senator and Kagura is.
Oh.
It's sad. Maybe I need to play more of it. Maybe I'm missing something.
Maybe I should just keep playing this game with cooking and boobs.
It sounds like me and Destiny. Mine is cooking and boobs.
Just and more sadness.
Right? I should keep playing this shit
More
game.
existential shame.
Oh,
Guardians.
I'm waiting. And he's just fucking open shirt.
Drax with the helmet on, but bare chested, laying on in front of a fireplace.
But Shax, I thought no, don't call me that. Call me Lord Shags.
Lord Shags. Because I got this shag carpet. Also, I'm gonna fuck
Also my dude. Now we're gonna talk about news. We waited until Bob was drinking so he couldn't like talk more about dumb games. Hey,
you. Hey,
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 hey.
hey.
What was that thing you remembered?
That Good Old Games released their own Steam-like client called GOG Galaxy.
Yes.
Which was neat, because anytime anyone releases a competitor to Steam, everyone goes, what? So,
Why are you doing this?
Whoa, what?
Do you just want to die?
Just like that time with Desera.
and Unity.
Wait, Unity.
Isn't that a... Origin, sorry.
Yeah,
There you go.
I was like, no, that's
You-
an engine in
Unify
an
or-
Assassin's
okay.
Creed game.
It's an Assassin's Creed game, but it's by Ubisoft, but that's not Ubisoft, it's EA. So I don't even know.
Ubisoft
I
is-
recuse myself. I can't. No.
Too bad we can't talk about what that story is.
You're right,
That's
I don't
me.
know
I
anything.
mean,
Do you know anything about it? Have you used it? Did you?
not yet.
read
It just-
anything
it
from
was,
people who
It's
use
just
it?
more of a platform for their games. Because the whole site's more about older PC games and a
Right.
lot of
And
it's
being
unifying-
DRM free. Yeah.
DRM free, and it's usually a lot of them do have some like latent multiplayer, so they're allowing people to have a friends list while you're playing old games.
Yeah.
So I mean, I like it because it's not just another Steam platform. It's like here's some old games you can't get anymore, but we have them all here, and you can see what your friends, old school PC gamers, are
Yeah.
playing too. So
I
that's
mean,
neat.
the thing is, they're not exclusively old school. That's
Yeah,
why
yeah.
they stopped calling themselves Good Old Games and started
was just
just
GOG.
GOG.
yeah.
Because it was a rebranding effort to get
Isn't-
away from being distinctly retro.
Yeah.
Isn't that just an abbreviation of the same thing?
Yeah,
though?
no, but like they don't call themselves Good Old Games. They call themselves GOG because they're really trying to get away from being thought of as an exclusively retro thing.
Huh.
It's like
do
KFC.
sell-
It's like KFC, kind of. Maybe. Never mind.
I feel
I
like
hear
I'm
this.
supposed to be thinking Kentucky Fried Chicken whenever
Yeah.
I hear that. I don't
It's
know.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, but they don't call it that anymore. It's KFC because, well, legally, I don't think they can do that anymore.
Oh yeah.
I thought because it's not sometimes not chicken. or that it's not Kentucky.
I don't know. I don't trust anything anyone says about KFC.
They are now KFC, and they're not
right,
Kentucky
'cause
Fried Chicken.
There's so much.
Everybody wants to make up urban myths about them, so.
That's what I heard, basically.
So.
But I don't know. They're KFC.
They got the best potato wedges ever.
They actually.
Yeah.
That's real good. So that's that story. What else we got?
Is the next one potato wedge centric?
Oh man, can we just talk about how good potato wedges are when they're good? We're like real good.
Not
You know
that
who doesn't have good potato wedges?
Publix, Winn-Dixie,
And
Walmart. None of them.
Winn-Dixie has good potato
I mean,
wedges.
it's the best
They're
of those
okay.
three. But yeah, it ain't nothing compared to fucking KFC.
You're right. Such an idiot. Well, KFC's all the way.
I want a
nice.
crunch wrap with fucking potato wedges in it. They're like, sir, crunch wrap is Taco Bell. And I'm like, yeah, that's why I'm at this KFC Taco Bell. You think I drove 20 miles to eat fucking one of these two things? You think I drove 20 miles to eat these separately? They're like, oh my god, this madman drove 20 miles to eat here at a KFC Taco Bell. Hit the button! Hit the button! They're just smashing a button under the counter.
What was it? The Patton Oswalt
Make him what he
thing,
wants.
when he was talking about like the bowl, the KFC bowls. Like, wouldn't you like your ingredients separate, like eating them like an adult? No, I want all of my things in a failure pile in a sadness bowl.
See, I hear that all the time, and I'm like, that was the best invention they ever made. The KFC bowl is the best thing to happen to that restaurant.
Yeah.
And then somebody told me, yeah, undoubtedly a pothead thought of it, and I'm like, oh, that does kind of seem like a pothead thing of just like, put it all together, it's tastier. Put it in a bowl.
It's all going to the same place. Just put it in
What
a
should
bowl.
our new dish have? And this new CEO is just like, I want corn and chicken and mashed potatoes.
What do I mean? Gravy.
I'm not
Gravy.
done. I'm not done. Let me finish. And shredded cheese and gravy. And they're just like,
And a box of high C. You want a box of high C? No, get me a box of high C.
like right now.
now.
Because he's apparently 10 years old,
like-
high, and a college
They reach
graduate.
over,
I don't-
the camera pans, it's just a fridge, and it's just filled to the brim with high
like
C box.
the fucking like
Get me an ecto cooler.
the dumb bitch like that he sends off to do that is just like sippy cup, sippy
Yes.
cup, sippy cup. I see. Because he likes his sippy cup.
That's true. They don't make extra cooler anymore, from what I hear.
I doubt it.
No,
Or
they
they
don't.
make it, or they do make it now, but it's like a pales in comparison.
I mean, Jay from Hell Zeon is an ecto cooler fanatic.
Oh God.
Was that made along or like is promotion for Ghostbusters?
Yes,
or,
and it just
okay.
continued forever, and then
Okay.
they stopped. That's how the word forever works. Yep.
They did it forever until it wasn't.
Actually,
That's some
you.
never-ending story shit. Like, I don't fucking God.
And that whole bowl thing reminded me of like one of the animes I'm watching. Apparently, there's some cooking thing in Japan where it's like dawns, which are just it's a bowl, it's rice and whatever else.
Good.
Like lighter fluid. And
I mean, I feel like that's kind of the equivalent of like in the States how we have burgers and sandwiches. Like just fucking just bowl and rice. There's
Or
our
a-
fucking staple,
or a hash,
right?
which is just so many times on cooking competition shows, like I'm making a hash, which is
I gave up.
culinary for just throw it in some potatoes. I don't even care.
Yeah, I think that is literally it.
So then hash browns roughly translates to I don't care browns.
Yes. I give up on this dish, Brown.
Browns.
I'm out of options, Brown.
Browns. Fucking okay, so here's my thought, right?
This got really potato centric.
Check this out. So
wasn't
healthier
prepared.
diets, generally speaking, have higher protein and lower starch, which is why obesity epidemic has been happening, because we were like, the basis of the food pyramid is grains. And it took like a few decades for us to go, fuck!
No, it took us a few days to go.
I feel like you'll still find those posters in high school and middle schools.
I mean, they do. Those are still there, but they've reduced it. It is still the foundation, but it is, like, relative to the rest of it, still lessened.
okay.
But yeah, and I mean, you think about it, the main reason for that is like we had our our staples, right? Those were our staples: rice, bread, etc., pasta, and that's because calories are fucking hard, and getting calories out of those things and being able to afford them and then eat them really easy compared to livestock.
Yeah.
Or other things back in the day. So it was like, when faced with this fucking struggle of surviving and budgeting and like reality and shit, humanity as a whole let's min-max in this. And the obesity epidemic has got going, patched out!
We nerfed your bodies.
We nerfed your bodies. Enjoy gluten intolerance. And that's something I think about a lot.
And the rest of you who don't have gluten intolerance,
You'll be fat.
enjoy being intensely irritated by people who now claim they have gluten intolerance.
Yep. What was it? Gluten intolerance? Like, I read the symptoms and it's ridiculously similar to something else, and I'm like, how do they know they don't just have... I can't remember what it was. Obviously, it wasn't Crohn's disease. It was something else where it was just like the symptoms were identical.
Like a bowel thing?
Yeah, because that's what the gluten intolerance is. It's like, oh, your digestive system gets really fucked by gluten. Like, the lining of it is cut up by gluten. Yeah, so... whatever. In any case, we're not nutritionologists. Bob, sorterwhip.com.
Sorterwhip.com.
Sort of whip.
I feel weird.
This episode of the GigaBoots podcast is brought to you by sorterwhip.com. Enter promo code Who Gives a Fuck
I feel
to get a discount.
You click a sword, or you click a whip.
pretty good.
That's the story.
Koji Igarashi is clearly making a new Igavenia. And that's good.
He's giving us weird nicknames. He's separating us into clans. And he's gonna show us something. He's gonna let us watch.
Watch his stream.
Yeah, he's really naked.
I did like that.
When's Twitch gonna take this down? Oh, he paid him enough so he doesn't have to be taken.
Weird.
Huh.
I did like
Twitch
that
reports.
in that site, whether you click the sword or the whip, each day he started saying different stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
I was like, what? I thought it was going to be the same thing forever, but it kept changing each day.
Well, yeah, they're on
that.
top of their viral marketing.
And
no one's reporting on it.
No.
I hate games media.
I mean, they will report on, like, Square as a countdown timer at his star. We'll see what it means. But this is like, Iga's making a Castlevania game. It's happening seriously. Like, I don't. What?
Platonic Games has like a teaser picture for what might be the sequel to Banjo-Kazooie.
Look at his cosplayer.
This is a cosplayer.
They're playing with the costume.
At a gaming convention for professionals, some person looked at a woman's butt. More at 7.
Some person looked at a butt.
More at
Whether
7.
or not it was attached to a person, you'll have to tune in and find out.
Butt confirmed.
Gamer news.
Clack, clack. It just fades out. We're just like, how did it?
It just, like, we rack focus and we just fucking pull out. It's like... You're a fucking stupid bitch.
Fuck you. Oh yeah, there's not a.
Yeah, there's no good desk. There you go.
There's a blank.
That's why we're not internet famous. What? Yeah,
Whoa.
it's clipping. Of course, they can't tell what you're freaking out about because to them it's white.
Imagine on a camera you see paper, 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 zebra, zebra.
Is there any way to output those zebras?
We would have to video capture this, which we can.
I mean,
but man, is that stupid?
This is get another cam. Get my webcam where you threw it on the floor, and we'll capture it.
I threw it.
I saw you. I remembered it. No webcam. You were like, relax. I'm a doctor.
But yeah, I feel a little weird talking about sort of whip on here, just because it's like by the time this goes up, all of that's gonna be fully revealed.
Yeah,
but we can be ultra pissed that it wasn't covered before the reveal by
True.
other sites because fuck them. I really hate the fact that people are like, Lords of Shadow is the best Castlevania happened in a really long time, because they honestly believe that. Like, Lords of Shadow 1 was hugely popular in the gaming media when it came out.
Which was crazy.
It's like, no, like, this game has every problem that Bayonetta, like, was ashamed of.
What they're saying is, we like God of War with a different skin pack.
Yeah.
no matter how bad that skin pack is, we will eat it up.
Because
Yeah.
it's barely, it has Castlevania
And
on
it's
the logo.
plot shit. It's plot shit. It's like graphics weren't exceptional, but the art design kind of was. But it wasn't like even as good as God of War 3. It was like,
It certainly lacked most of the scale.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, no,
nowhere near
it's
as
just
impressive.
whenever it tried to do the scale like that, it was just laughable.
Yeah, because it ran really poorly.
And it was like, oh, this golem's kind of big, guys.
And like the animation and stuff. And then it just blatantly ripped off games like Shadow of the Colossus. God. Was it John Tron's
That
like
might have been the most heinous thing.
fucking John Tron's thing about that was incredible. He's like, look, Mona Lisa fine, but like fucking you can't respect a guy who's like, I drew this. It's just like traced over the Mona Lisa. He's like, no, this is a new game. I made this. I'm like, thank you.
I mean,
thank you.
More games should imitate Shadow of the Colossus. I need more of that in
They
my
need
life.
to find what the best part of that was and incorporate it. And the bosses being big was not it.
No, it was not.
It was that they were a puzzle. It was
right.
not a puzzle in this. It was you could only make it to this part at first.
It was a quick time event, basically.
No, like at the end it was, but at first, like it was linear. Like the bosses in Shadow of the Colossus, a lot of time, like you couldn't even attack them at first. You had to figure out what you had to make them do to make
How
them
to get them
attackable.
crouch or get on
Right.
top of them, or
And then even
leap on
then it
their
opens up
sword.
in such a way where it's non-linear. You could run all over it and do different things. But with fucking Lords of Shadow, you have to damage this hand enough for him to do this. And then you can crawl up that. And there's only one valid path. And it's not smart. It's just fucking dumb. And it's a shallow impersonation.
Fuck
Lords of Shadow.
Did do that, but only for the last boss.
Right.
But it was the last boss.
Also, it's fucking epic.
Epic as fuck.
Laser beam!
Laser hands.
Fucking...
It was fucking Night on Bald Mountain shit.
You're just like, hey, I wonder if the boss can see poof, and then you go flying.
I wonder if what's that coming towards me? Bleh, game over.
And you're like rolling for a week.
That was the best part of that game, is that when you got hit, your character's like, no, I need a second, bro. I need a second.
Yeah.
These things are big, man.
And then on top of that, in this universe, like fucking Gabriel had a hook whip that could help him climb shit. He used it all the time. He would just and then climb. Meanwhile, now you're just like, I have to wait. I have to climb its arm to go to its shoulder to crawl down to its...
Zobak, help me, Zobak.
And then Zobak could just throw a knife and kill it.
Thank you, Zobak.
You're not ruining everything.
I feel cool.
I want to watch the next generation. But yeah, sort
And
of.
just yell Zobak at the screen. Zobak, what are you doing?
He's like, what the fuck is this? Dagger? Just throws it into a ship and it explodes.
Oh, the Borg. Dagger.
Solved.
Solved.
Yeah, no, fuck Lords of Shadow, fuck gaming media. I really got pissed over them not covering Castlevania like back in the day. Because they really didn't.
Yeah.
Like, it never really got
I
a
don't
large amount of
understand
mainstream coverage.
the complete, like, just...
It's on a portable, it's not a real game.
It's weird.
And that was back when, like, you know, portable reviews were, like, there were two eras. There was the era where it was on the DS and it was recordable. Mm-hmm. And then there was the era where it was on the Game Boy Advance and written reviews were
We're standard,
were status quo. So, like, there was no excuse either time. I hate people.
So maybe the next news story. Maybe. Maybe we're ready for that.
What?
The next what story?
News story?
News.
Oh,
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A. What?
I don't know. We're stuck on the fried chicken
Okay.
things, and I figured, why not?
So,
I thought we were stuck on mashed potato wedges.
mashed
Yes.
potato wedges, which some people call mashed potatoes.
But Nintendo is partnering with Universal to make some sort of theme park thing.
Which sounds rad.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Because Universal's already done a bunch of video game stuff. They did like Resident Evil, Silent Hill, Monster Hunter one year.
Huh.
Yeah.
Like in the States?
Yeah.
Weird.
Like
thought the
down in
Monster Hunter stuff-
Orlando at the Universal Studios there. I remember for Halloween they've done several video gamey stuff.
Cool.
The Silent Hill one was
Not cool.
not quite as Silent Hill as you would have wanted, which is you enter the
Which is
ride and it's
good.
just yourself alone in a misty no, it's a haunted house, but with Silent Hill monsters. But apparently they did have they had a walkthrough of it, which is
Like
really
naked tit nurses?
cool. Not naked tit nurses, just tit nurses with covered tits And they had, like, at the end of the hallway, like, you're walking towards the end, and Pyramid Head walks around the corner and walks at you menacingly, and you're like, I need to go this other way. Like, there is no not being afraid of that guy. There's a walkthrough of it, I think, where someone, like, kicks the camera through. We can see online later. Which...
So here's the strategy. When you get to this room, stick to the wall. If you don't stick to the wall, you might get lost. It's his walkthrough.
Pick up the shotgun shells. This is a theme park. I don't want to pick up gun anything. No, pick them up. Pick them up.
What was it? I know, weird to bring it up again. Did either of you check out the latest JonTron thing?
No.
Apparently,
Starcade?
yeah, Starcade.
Yeah.
So the conceit for the series, Starcade, is that, like, Darth Vader's like, you need to review every Star Wars games. I'm going to use the gameplay footage for my new Let's Play channel. And it was just like, Darth Vader
underscore Vader
loves Green Day 92.
It's like, that sounds dumb.
That's a terrible name.
Much like Starcade, which is the name of this.
Yep, and then it starts. It was pretty good.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that, I mean, obviously the first thing everyone thinks of is like, have a go-kart course, make a Mario Kart. Which, sure, great.
Yeah, the ones I was seeing were like, make a Mario Galaxy roller coaster, and like, okay, sure.
Sure, great. Oh, dude. What I want is did you ever go to like the Men in Black ride in Orlando? Just basically go through a thing and you shoot aliens. I think
I
a
heard
Metroid
about
one of
that.
those would be really cool.
I've been on that.
But I'm gonna go ahead and use a joke I used earlier. Is what they're gonna have is a Metroid ride that is always under construction because art imitates life. Sad.
Will the ride get canceled twice during development?
Yeah.
And then just barely come out, and everyone will say it's the best game ever made?
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
But no, I mean, it has. I mean, depending on what they do, they're just in talks right now. But I think it could be real cool.
Yeah. I don't really do theme parks, but I'd be interested in that.
Yeah, I mean,
And I was surprised they even like, for Orlando and for Japan. I was like, oh wow, we're actually this is for us.
I mean, America got all those like crossovers.
I have Tarzan Boy stuck in my
Gotcha.
head. Giving context.
Okay. You have to do. But they didn't. I don't know if they announced whether or not it'd be Japan or America, but we kind of assume because they've done it here before.
I read somewhere where it was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. Great. Cool.
Maybe I'm totally wrong there, but I feel like I read that.
I mean, I appreciate the Silent Hill Halloween thing. I would never go to it,
Yeah, no.
but I would go to a Nintendo dealie.
Right?
Sure, great.
You guys are wusses.
Yes. Yes.
Definitely.
Enormous! The hugest! It's just like, I don't know. I feel like something about it will be so meta if you go to a scary haunted house that is Silent Hill. It's like, that's not... I don't have sexual problems. Like, what why is that demon here? Like, because all the demons were reflecting...
Where's my dad? I have real issues with my dad. Where is him?
Like, in the normal numbered Silent Hills, ignoring everything after 4, the demons all were supposed to reflect deeper psychological problems
Silent
with the
Hill
main
was supposed
character.
to be your own personal hell that your mind created for yourself.
I'm just going to be walking through there. Where's Stephanie?
Where are you, bitch?
This ain't Silent Hill.
This ain't Silent Hill.
I'm fucking out.
This is Bitch Hills. What this is.
I see nurse tits. What's wrong with this?
I like nurse tits. I need to fear things. I'm not afraid of those tits.
They're too big. My wrist.
No! Look at carpal tunnel.
Oh, God, no. Do you have a nearby hospital?
Ma'am, you need to mash them in my face. This is important. I need this.
I'm so scared. We're classy.
So, speaking of Vidge games and Silent Hill, Konami scrubbed Silent Hill from the face of the internet.
PT, yep. PT is just buffed off of the everything ever.
Yep.
If it is downloaded on your machine, it's there, but you can't re-download it. It's not on the store. It's gone.
I was surprised Sony or PlayStation even sent a notice telling me, "Hey, you can't re-download this."
So, like, the interesting thing is people who are selling their PS4s with PT on it, the reason why that's interesting is because the only way PT would remain playable on it is if they didn't deactivate their account on that PS4.
Right.
And who the fuck wants to sell their account for a fucking console?
Only people who were somehow savvy enough to realize it'd be locked to a thing and they'd never be available again, so they bought multiple PS4s and created accounts for each one.
Right, and that's all I was thinking. Like, just very select few people out there were smart enough to be like, I need to make an account that is a PT account.
Yeah, but even now eBay's kind of shutting those down.
I feel like they're springing up again.
Yeah.
Like, they were shutting them down really hardcore at first, but,
It was the same sort of idea that they were shutting down eBay auctions of Flappy Bird embedded iPhones.
because the thing is, like, the accounts can get deactivated. Like, if a person had their normal account on that PS4, and then they realized, oh, I can't put this on my other PS4.
Shit, yeah.
And then that part of that product doesn't exist anymore. So you sold them a thing that is no longer there.
Right.
So it's smart for eBay to do that. It
Yeah.
is really smart.
Yeah. Which, I mean, now it's a piece of gaming history that a select few were able to hold. But also it's on the internet everywhere.
I don't know. Yeah,
so-
I was like, it's everywhere on the internet. When it came out, it was live streamed to hell and back.
Yeah, but
Right, but there's a
always-
difference between you experiencing
Yeah,
and
the
you
difference
actually
between watching and playing.
Yeah.
Especially for PT. I can watch videos of PT. I will never play PT again. Ever.
Yeah, but like, okay,
Well,
so
can I
here-
get sure of that?
Well, I downloaded it on my system because I feared for the worst. Yeah.
Okay.
I needed it there for posterity.
Right.
But I will
okay.
never look at it or touch it again.
Yeah,
it's
no,
there.
That game.
That
man.
game. Nightmare Dimension? What was it? Nightmare Dimension.
I mean,
Horrible.
the part for me, like, I was fine with everything it was doing. I was not fine with the part where it wouldn't end.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I hate that thing. Like, it's fine that it was that fucking scary, but at the point where it's like, oh, I wasn't live streaming, so this ending isn't happening, and this ending has gotten through running to this specific part, looking at this thing, looking at that thing, and not just looking, but looking.
It's that part where you
Right.
cross from interesting experimental indie demo thing to, oh, this is a marketing ploy. I should have been streaming.
I mean, yeah, it's a perfect fusion of marketing ploy and bullshit-specific bad gameplay design. Like, it basically took all of the problems with every point-and-click ever, multiplied it by 1,000,000, and like fused it to a marketing frenzy.
Oh god, that like Pixel Hunter
Yeah.
thing for all those games was so similar to finding those pieces of
Except for
paper.
now it's 3D.
Yeah.
Right.
And also you have to pause. Don't forget to pause and zoom in on the pause screen.
Yep.
So now it's meta.
Yeah, so like yeah, and that was my problem with it.
I still like
mean,
the concept, but it is kind of bullshit in execution if you don't do it right. And a lot of people didn't get it right. That's just my opinion.
a lot of people didn't get it right implies that it was in their hands. I mean, you had to live stream in order to even get that option.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
As an experience to scare you, it was succeeded. But as a thing to be beaten, it failed horribly.
Right.
I mean, as a thing that scares you is succeeded, but past the first 30 minutes, you just start being... I mean, past the first 2.5 hours, you start being angry that it isn't
Yeah.
a good
Yeah,
experience.
sure, yeah.
Because it doesn't want to end for you because of arbitrary things put in the code to make it more likely to be streamed. Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like the only way for Konami to redeem themselves for this is they release a physical copy of PT, make it easier to beat, and when you beat it, instead of Norman Reedus looking at a camera, it's just, we're sorry. So sorry.
But you bought a demo, so, you know, you're kind of dumb.
You're just...
Heat it up.
You eat this up, you sheeple. Eat a Baconator, sheeple.
Yeah, I don't know. When I look back on, like, history and, like, the things we won't experience because they don't exist anymore because of time. This doesn't, like... What's the fucking pterodactyl attack? Like, the fucking VR game that's, like, so rudimentary
yes.
and crazy. Like, I think of that as, like... Man, that's lost to the... Like, people are recreating it based on minutes of television footage of it. And they're like, look, it's in fucking Oculus
Wow.
Rift. I think that's hilarious.
Sure,
because
yeah.
it's like, look at this shit game.
Look at this garbage.
And who's going to do a copyright thing on that? Be like, hey, you stole our shit game.
You saw our game. You have the
Wait.
original code for it? No. Yes. Yeah.
Do you have that game still?
Yeah.
That's what we really wanted.
Okay.
That's all we really wanted from this.
Because I love the 90s. I no, you don't. Rips up his shirt tattoo.
Tattoos of Hey Arnold fucking dog cat or something. I love the 90s, and the 90s loves the 90s too.
Which we didn't talk about that with Splatoon. I love the soundtrack.
Yeah, it's it's really good.
It is so 90s. It's fucking over the top.
It took me a second to be like, where am I? When am I?
Yeah, the Splatoon.
He's like, 90s Splatoon.
Yeah, like the thing, like James Gilmore, Jimmy G, Jim Ratgazer came down and played it, like checked it out for a bit. I was playing it. He didn't have any interest because he doesn't want to buy a Nintendo
on the
thing.
demo, by the way?
No.
Okay. No.
So, like, the music and the style, he's like, was this co-published by Nickelodeon or...
Yeah, you're basically.
He's like, wild and crazy kids!
Gack everywhere.
Yeah, I was like, where's the part at the end where they slime the adult? Like, I don't... Where's that?
Where do they slime Mark Summers? I don't
Yeah. Fucking, he's like, no, I do candy, stop.
Help.
This isn't a
I'm
rap.
a producer now.
No, I thought I could escape this. I'll never escape these wild and crazy kids.
Oh God, I love it. Just one final moment
I
of
double
realization.
dare you to leave me alone.
Gun shaking. But yeah, it is crazy how like 90s as fuck the soundtrack is, especially like the game kinda is
Right.
Like
You're like Super Soakers and
yeah, like
Yeah.
once you hear the 90s music, it recontextualizes everything else to radical like colors and like okay, this punk attitude and those are Super Soakers. Okay, all of this is now 90s as fuck.
Where's my
I saw-
Nerf? It's Nerf for nothing.
Right?
I saw some people on NeoGAF saying they looked like Xbox avatars, and I was like, what?
There, okay, look,
there's-
there are a huge amount of people who just don't understand graphics or art design or anything, who say things look like other things for fucking weird and arbitrary reasons. They could have said that meaning they wear accessories.
I guess. Is
That shit happens.
right?
I mean, maybe I could understand it's like, oh, there's flat lighting and they all look weirdly smooth and they have different same proportions. But no, they have eyes. They both have eyes. They're the same.
What do you mean? And of course they both have. He just has one eye.
Mouth's eye.
Yeah. And then the eye just opens up and then they scream.
How long would it take to edit that?
A surprisingly little amount of time. The other day I was doing practice color grades for the ad.
Can we terrify the internet, please?
And I took, I did a motion track on Tosha's face, took her skin tone so it didn't affect her lips or her glasses.
Thank you for saying tone. I took her skin and
Yeah.
face.
And then, because
off.
it didn't affect her glasses or her lips, when I blurred everything to way too far, her face became gel with eyes and lips floating in it. And I'm like, ah! And James is like, good job!
Nice.
Nice! At least he should have been like that. He's been out of the game for too long. He needs to go work at that shit store we worked at. Then he'll remember.
Right.
Then he'll remember the old James.
Where he's just like doing a Rocky montage of like lifting logs, like nice, nice.
In any case, hey, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5 being made by Modo.
Modo, not Mobo.
You wrote Moto.
Moto.
Yes.
What is it?
Modo.
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 D.
Do. Yeah.
Okay.
D is in dog,
Do is a do.
or T is in talk.
Do is a doge.
Doge. Do is in Doge.
Yep. But yeah, Robomoto, the people who made some of the shittier physical
The
skating
Tony
boards.
Hawk Ride.
Like Ride and
Didn't
Shred.
they also make like DJ? No, they weren't DJ Hero. That was somebody else.
Though they may have been involved in Downhill Jam, I don't know. I thought that was someone else, but
In HD? Did
they
make
did do HD.
Okay.
So yeah, they're making Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5. There's a line in the thing that makes me cringe. They call it 5 because check this out. Underground was too far removed from normal Tony Hawk gameplay. Is the idea there. Like, no, this is what the sequel to 4 would really be. Problem is, Underground 1 was really good. It was 2 that was super hot garbage.
Okay, I don't
So,
know.
this next
quality of
line-
Underground's.
Right. Well, I just told you.
Okay, good.
And
I was
I'm
waiting for you
I'm
to
a
say
Tony
that.
Hawk saint.
Gotcha. Just looks back at the glowing head thing, Halo. Touching.
Yeah.
And God is Tony Hawk.
Yeah, it's just. I'm way off screen. I am headless, man.
I don't remember that painting.
Man, it would be great if paintings. It would be great if paintings were poorly framed.
It was
Like,
God
it's
in
just like-
Dullahan.
The subject of the shots up here.
The Sistine Chapel was painted by Michelangelo, the Ninja Turtle.
The Ninja Turtle. The Ninja Turtle. But this next line really goes against that idea of like, oh, we're like shrugging off all the bad parts of like the Tony Hawk games, like Underground 2 and stuff. But then they say, the game weds the series' finely tuned gameplay with new additions such as power-ups and the ability to shoot projectiles for specific missions. The worst part of Tony Hawk Underground 2 is a projectile shooting mission. It's fucking shit. You're sitting in a grocery cart while someone pushes it around and you keep throwing things and you have to like tomato all the houses. Underground 2 is a fucking terrible game. I've seen things.
There isn't a skateboard in what he just described, if you didn't notice.
What?
So, yeah.
No.
I think it had to do with Bam Margera.
Yeah,
What?
see, the problem was
Oh.
that show Bam Margera was on, Punk'd? No, the other one.
Jackass?
Jackass. Got really, really popular, so then they were like, hey, skating's getting a little bit less popular. Let's write off the popularity of that.
Wasn't Bam Margera originally a skater anyway?
Yeah, just like Jason Lee was.
I still just like surprised whenever.
I love that. That is like some awesome wrinkle to his personality that I really like. In fact, the character in Scott Pilgrim, who is an actor and skater, is some sort of parody of Jason Lee.
Huh.
Where it's like, he was a really good skater, now he's an actor. Except for that guy was fucking
yeah.
handsome.
Whereas
Wasn't
Jason
that
Lee could never say
Chris
that.
Evans?
Right? Yes.
Oh God, geez.
He's like, one of my favorite lines in that is, and it's completely improv by Chris Evans. It was the gay roommate handing him the skateboard. He's like, I'm a really big fan. And he just looks out past like the distance. He's like, why wouldn't you be? And then he goes off to do a sick grind. It was so good. Fuck. And then I'm listening to the commentary and they're like, yeah, no, that was just Chris Evans. Like, in some other line he did was also completely improv, where they're having that epic-ass fight, and he's just looking at his phone, and he's like, huh, that's hilarious. Just talking to himself at the phone, and no one's fucking there.
Chris Evans is sore, right?
No, he was, shit. Chris Evans, who did he play?
I want to say 2.
2? No, he's asking what character in superhero movies did Chris Evans play?
Captain America.
Okay, it's
There
Captain
we go.
America.
I was like,
he's Thor
I
or
thought you
Captain
said
America.
4, and I was like, he wasn't the 4th boyfriend. I thought he was the 2nd one.
Like I remember those.
This is important.
So yeah, no, he was Captain America.
Okay.
Yeah.
Captain.
That was another thing
was
about
Captain
that
Canucks.
last Scott Pilgrim trivia fact. Apparently, like, Edgar Wright was writing the movie when, like, maybe the 3rd volume was out. Like, it was that far not done.
Yeah.
And
Is this
Brian Lee O'Malley starts borrowing from what he wrote and incorporating it into the graphic novel. He's like, that's good, I'm taking
Is this basically like the all shonen anime where the TV show catches up to the manga and it's like, oh shit,
It would
vamp
be
for
like
time.
if Full Metal just ended like the series. Like the manga just went, that's good. That doesn't make sense with half of the. Oh, well.
They're doing it.
It'll be like Gone Girl. Have you seen Gone Girl?
No.
They really swing for that terrible gut feeling ending.
Yeah, that's from what I hear. Like,
Yeah. And it fucking hit it. Like, we were dead silent for the last 5-10 minutes of that movie.
Yeah.
We're like,
everything is meaningless. Life is cruel. I hate myself. Bye. I'm gonna kill myself.
but then, like, it causes a few, like, plot sort of
Yeah.
things that don't sit well compared to the rest of the movie.
I heard that movie was so good that even Tyler Perry was good in it.
Tyler Perry was excellent in it. It was really weird. Just so you're clear, that lawyer guy was Tyler Perry, the guy who makes all of those movies.
The
Those
Big
mov-
Mama's, like, Tyler Perry's, he plays characters. And
Huh.
like, I'm Tyler Perry. I'm an old woman. And
Huh.
Yeah,
And
all
that
all,
was
like,
would have
the
connected.
worst awfulness of cinema.
And the great thing is he did an interview where he's like, if I had known it was a David Fincher film and based on a book, I would not have signed. My agent didn't tell me that, so that way I would. Because had I known, I would not have fucking done that, because that scares the shit out of me.
Well, I mean,
One, David Fincher, I
Yeah.
need 200 takes. Two, it's based on a book, so you have a character you're being contrasted
Yeah.
against.
Also, I mean, all of his movies, for whatever quality they are, he was basically in direct control of them. He was
Right.
acting as directing. He basically, I think he wrote them as well. Like,
Right, yeah.
He was full, like, this is my movie. And it's like, he's just an actor. And it's like, oh, God, please don't fuck up. Please don't fuck up.
Right? Like, I think I had this character. I hope I do. Fucking... You know what? Digital film turned Fincher into a monster. Like, fucking 100 takes. You couldn't do that on film, you asshole. Cut it out.
A million takes!
What, he did 99 takes of the opening monologue to The Social Network?
Oh, yeah.
Because he stopped at 99 and everyone was certain, even though he wouldn't admit to it, he just didn't want to say he made them do 100. Just like he couldn't say 100. That's ridiculous. Let's stop at 99. And it's a really long dialogue
Yeah, it
at the
is.
beginning.
Holy
It's
shit,
the
yeah.
whole thing. They recorded it multicam,
Good
so
job
it's the
on
whole
Jesse
thing.
Eisenberg for getting all that shit right.
Yeah, no, he loves working with Fincher because he was like, I could just do a bunch of takes and whatever one he likes he goes with. So I just try things out.
Just do things. When I spoke Spanish.
I like it.
I'm crazy.
I hope The Social Network has the Spanish language option because I'm about to go watch it. Just be like Mark Zuckerberg. It's Spanish. En español.
Ajá. Muy bueno.
Muy bueno. Yeah, no, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5 looking kind of bad. I'm gonna
The
put this.
screenshots look horrible bad.
Yeah, like sure it'll run at 60 frames per second, but it looks worse than Project 8. Not worse than Project 8, but it does look
don't
worse
know.
than Proving
I
Ground.
feel like it does look worse than Project 8. Like
In
their
some
faces
ways.
look real weird. Like even weirder. In their hair. Like it's now degraded to PS2.
That might be a step forward.
Okay.
You have not played Project... Like, you didn't play as many hours as me. You haven't, like, memorized how bad the alpha blending was. So you could see, like, outlines around each... Yeah. Project 8's rough. It's like a launch title for the PS3. But, yeah, no, fucking... I'm going to say there's, like, a 75-80% chance this will be bad.
It's also on PS3 and 360 still.
85.
I'm surprised it's not on the Wii.
It's probably also Unreal Engine.
Probably.
I hope it isn't. I hope that was just a thing they did to get the HD version out really quick for a cheap buck. Ugh. All I know is if it starts to look good, we might do a whole month of Midnight Skater Magic. Just streaming.
No. The skating wizards.
Sick grind. So did you cover the news thing you wanted to cover?
Yeah, that was the GOG stuff.
You covered the news thing you wanted to cover?
I didn't bring anything but those.
This is what we do when we aren't recording GigaBoots videos. We just like to gather in a room and look around and breathe.
I'll look at each other. It's like those friends in that one anime. They just can't look at each other.
Hey, Eric.
Yes,
You know what
Dan?
I saw the other day?
What?
I saw a movie.
What?
David Fincher made it.
No way.
Way.
Oh my god.
Was it the Avengers 2?
Yes.
I don't know.
GigaBoots has been brought to you by the support of our producers Vincent Poverk and Cywolf via our Patreon. Consider becoming a GigaBoots patron today.